Hi everyone, today we're going to do some practice with inequality word problems. Luckily they're all pretty simple and there's a lot less work to show than when we did word problems with equations. So I'm going to read the instructions to this page. It says, write the following statements using inequality symbols and graph on a number line. So we can't forget that that's two things we need to do. So we have to write a sentence with inequality symbols and we need to graph on a number line. The next thing is the let statement I see. So it says, let X represent the missing number. So we don't have to do a let statement because they've done it for us for the whole page. Then give a value for X that makes the inequality true. You can see at the top, I have our chart with the 4 different symbols, and I also have the chart that shows what has an open circle and what has a closed circle. Let's look at the first one. Problem A, it says a number is greater than 9. We always want X on the left. So you can even go through the whole page and put your X first. And then we're going to do a symbol and then the number. You can even go through the whole page and put your number in. So this one's 9. I see this one's going to be 7, 0, 100, -3, 9, and -2. Well, I'm going to need a number line. You can go through and you could do all your number lines if you'd like. I know I'm going to need 0 in the middle of the number line, and then I'm going to put whatever number I'm being asked about. So I'm going to take a second and set up the page. If you want to pause the video and set up your page, you're welcome to do that as well. All right, so now I think I'm in a good place to start these problems. If you need more time, pause the video. So the first one says a number is greater than 9. Well, the greater than symbol looks like this. So I'm going to copy that over, and that makes sense because the number, X, the mystery number, has to be the thing that the alligator mouth is eating. This side has to be the bigger side, so it has to be greater than 9. So I'm going to put 9 on my number line, and then there's not the part that's or equal to 9. 9 cannot be one of the answers. So that means I need an open circle, and your circle has to be big enough that somebody could tell that it was open and not colored in. Now the numbers that are greater to 9 are the numbers that are that way. So all of the numbers on this side of 9, that would be here in the number line off to infinity, those are the possible answers. The last thing it asks us to do is to give a value for X that would work. So you could pick whatever number you want. I'm going to pick 11. So let's see if that's true. Is it true that 11 is greater than 9? Yep, that is true. Go ahead and pause the video and try the rest of this page on your own. Come back when you're ready to go through the answers. All right, so the next one says a number is greater than or equal to 7. And hopefully you've paused the video and tried these on your own. Switch up the color. So this would be the greater than part because it's eating the X. And then or equal to means I have to do an underline. For my graph, here's my 7. And I need a circle that is clearly closed. It has to be very obvious to the audience that this is a closed circle. Greater than 7 would be this way. For the value, there's so many different answers you could have put. There's infinite answers you could have put. It has to be something that's 7 or bigger. I'm going to put 7. 7 is actually greater than or equal to 7 because they're equal. You could have picked 8. You could have picked 1,000,000, something 7 or more. All right, the next one. A number is less than or equal to 0. So less than or equal to. This time the alligator mouth is eating the 0. The 0 is the bigger size, the bigger side, because it says that the number, which is X, has to be less than that. So I won't have a second dot on my number line. 0 is going to be my circle, and I have to close the circle because 0 is a possible answer. And then my arrow is going to point to the numbers that are less than 0. let's see, for my value, I could put 0 or I could put a negative number. I'm going to pick -2. -2 is less than or equal to 0. That works. So I picked something correct. You don't have to do the little checks on the side. I'm just doing that to demonstrate. All right, not equal to 100. So that's the not equal to symbol. I need to have 100. And when it's not equal to, it's going to be an open circle because 100 can't be an answer. And then you're going to have arrows going in both directions. So the numbers can basically be anything except for 100. You can't pick 100. I'm going to pick 0. 0 is not 100. So that would be a true statement. That is true. All right, so these have a note on them because they give you the number first and then the variable. So they originally give it to you as -3 is less than a number. Remember the number's x. But we have to flip that. So I already kind of have the flip setup going on over there, but I have to flip the symbol too. The alligator mouth is eating x in the original. So when I flip it, the alligator mouth still has to be eating x. So -3 is less than a number means the same thing as a number is greater than -3. All right, so we have -3, open circle, because there's not the or equal to part. And let's see, I want numbers that are greater than that because the alligator mouth is eating x. So those would be all the possible solutions. And I'm going to do -1/2. That would be a number that falls in this area. Those are all the possible answers. All right, F is the same idea. We have to flip it. So the original is 9 is greater than or equal to a number, but I have to flip it. I have my x and 9 flipped already. The alligator mouth has to be pointed to 9. So my real inequality is x is less than or equal to 9. So here's my 9. I need a closed circle on the 9, and the arrow has to point this way because I want all the numbers that are less than or equal to 9. And I'm going to pick 9 as my answer. 9 could work because it's allowed to be equal to it. All right, the last one. A number is less than -2. Here's the less than symbol. So here's my -2. I need an open circle because it can't be equal to that. And then my arrow points this way because this is all the numbers that are less than -2. And let's see what I want to pick. I'm going to do -2.5. That's a number that would be in this area. All right, if you need to, take a moment to correct any of your answers so that way you have the correct answers on your page. We're going to do one more page. Now this one has more real world scenarios on it. I have the same two charts at the top, and I also have this page at the bottom, which we made together that shows what all these different expressions mean. So I highly recommend putting screenshots of any of these charts that would be helpful on your page as well. All right, so I'm going to do the first couple with you, and then you're going to do some on your own. So this one says, rewrite the following information as an inequality, then graph the inequality and check. So let's see what it's asking us to do. A says, to get into a show for free, you must be 5 years old or younger. So let X be. What is the quantity here? What are we counting? What is the mystery? That's going to be age. Or if you wanted to put years old, that's fine too. Now I need to do the inequality and the graph. Let's look at this phrase, 5 years old or younger. So I know it's going to have an X and a 5, and I have to think about what the symbol's going to be. Or is a really big clue. Or tells me it's going to be one of these two guys, because those also have the or in them. It might be less than 5 or equal to, or it might be greater than 5 or equal to. I'm not sure which one it is yet, but I'm going to put the little underline in. wasn't very clear. Okay. Now I have to decide if it's the numbers that are less than 5 or greater than 5. So what are some of the ages that can get into the show? 5, looks like 4 will work, 3, 2, so all the numbers that are less than 5. And that matches up with the word younger. Younger implies smaller numbers. So X is less than or equal to 5. 5 will get in for free, and the numbers less than 5 will get in for free. All right, so I need to do my graph now. Graph is just another word for number line in this case. And less than or equal to means that it's going to be colored in. It's a closed circle because 5 does work. And then I want to point the arrow this way. For the check, all I'm going to do is substitute a number into the inequality and see if it works or not. Kind of like what we were doing on the last page. So I'm going to pick 2. I could have picked anything from this part of the graph, any number from over here. 2 is less than or equal to 5. Yep, that works. So that means I did it correctly. Try B, pause the video, come back when you're ready to go over B. All right, hopefully you're ready to go over this. It looks to me like age is again the quantity. Let X be age. I have X and 16. I see the phrase is 16 or over. Or tells me I have to underline again because I could be equal to 16. Now the numbers that are over 16 mean that I have to do the greater than symbol. X is greater than or equal to 16. Here's my number line. We have 0 and 16. I'm going to do a closed circle on 16 because it is possible to be equal to 16. And then I want my arrow pointing this way. For my check, I could check it with any number that's 16 or bigger. I'm going to pick 100. And that makes sense because people who are 100 are allowed to get a driver's license. And that's greater than or equal to 16. Yep, that works. All right, I'm going to do the next one together with us. Try C, pause the video, come back when you're ready to go over C. All right, hopefully you're ready to go over it. Let X be hours, that was the quantity. And then I'm going to have X and 2. The key phrase is no less than. Well, I don't really want to think about it too much. I'm going to look at the chart for no less than. Here it is. So no less than tells me I'm using this symbol. I want numbers that are bigger than 2 or equal to 2. So that's the purpose of the chart. It's helpful. So here is my symbol from the chart. And then I need to do my number line. I'm going to do a colored in circle, closed circle, because it could be equal to 2. And then I want numbers that are greater than 2. I'm going to check it with 2 because it's allowed to be equal to it. Yep, that works. 2 is greater than or equal to 2. It's equal to it. Go ahead and finish up with D and E. I'm going to have you guys try those on your own. I'm not going to share the answers. Use the chart down here. It's going to be really, really helpful for figuring out what your symbol should look like. So you have a lot of different clues to do. Please finish.